Welcome to the Course Creator's Edge. This is Strategic Monday, Episode 7, where we talk about the drivers and conditions of the course creation segment of this expert's digital economy and topics that affect how we do what we do. We've been talking about why some types of entrepreneurial courses are quote-unquote dead, and in this podcast review should have possibly died a long time ago. Hi, I'm Michelle, your host. Today we're shifting our gaze to the numbers in this broad, sometimes confusing business space. Now, here at the Course Creator's Edge, this podcast is all about quality in course creation because influencing the thinking, attitudes, beliefs, behaviors, skills, and knowledge of others is a very big deal. And honestly, it's a sacred contract. My question to you today is, do the numbers that we're able to access about our business support that conviction? Well, let's dive in and discuss numbers in the creator economy, and do they affect or can we learn anything from them about course creation? Well, first, distinctions are rarely made between the different ways a person can make money in this economy. So, to be clear, this is where we talk about the experts, the course creation segment of the creator economy. But the data, the business information out there, and trends, everything that's being recorded and tracked, well, it's aggregated. That means it's all smushed together. So, do we have clear data on the course creation segment? I don't think so. Now, this is a business space, and courses are one very important part of this economy. It is the part where we can be very clear about what it is when it comes to quality. I'm not saying that we're measuring that yet, but because education is a science, we have a lot of information about what it means to be a quality course creator. Not really tracked, I don't think. But since any available data is aggregated, that means smushed together with influencers and coaches and the like, we'll just have to start understanding this business by looking at that aggregated data. And yep, ladies and gentlemen, that is a problem. But we'll look at that later. Right now, the second dilemma to finding reliable data on this course creation business is that research is expensive and it's labor intensive, and not many researchers take on the task. Now, the third gap in available reliable data is the special interest nature of research, especially when it collides with a business model that is for profit. The research that is done is usually self-interest research. They either conduct the research as a product to sell or to support their business model. It's biased. It's a little bit like the reports from Adobe that we're going to discuss today. Now, I'm very grateful to Adobe, and the studies offer important insights as one of the most accessible and well-done studies that the average creator can access. Others charge thousands of dollars for their studies. So we're lucky to have some of Adobe's insights. Now, in the many years of trying to learn all I can about this business space, because I kind of geek out about stuff like that, and having a pretty decent background in research and what is reliable and valid studies, I can pretty confidently say that quality data on this course creation segment of this creator experts economy doesn't exist. At least not so that we average folks can access it. Now, Adobe has completed a couple important studies for this creator economy. One was in 2022 and one most recently in 2025. Let's start with that one. It's all about AI and its use in our business space. And for all of us, that's pretty important. It's a pretty big hot topic, and it's one of the reasons some people are claiming that courses are dead. So let's look at what Adobe found. Their report is titled Inaugural Adobe Creators Toolkit Report. 86% of global creators use creative generative AI. See it boosting creator economy. That's quite a title, isn't it? They posted that on October 28th in 2025, and you can find it at news.adobe.com/news and just check out their 2025 survey. Now, Adobe's Creators Toolkit report, it summarizes a global study that they conducted exploring how content creators are integrating, that is, using in their business, creative generative AI and mobile tools in their workflows, and what they expect from the next generation of AI, which is including agentic AI. Okay, I get it. I'm kind of hearing some of you. I look things up all the time. Before we move on, let's make sure we're all speaking the same language. First, creative generative AI. Now, that refers to AI systems designed to produce new, original content like text, images, music, or a video. And it's based on the prompts and information we give to that AI. A good example of that is ChatGPT. Now, the second definition, I want to make sure we're all talking the same language, is mobile tools. And that refers to any type of software application, a platform, or a digital technology that can be used on portable handheld devices. That's like smartphones and tablets, right? You know, some people can even use their smartwatches. Pretty impressive. And then agentic AI. Now that refers, this one maybe has some gray areas to it, but it refers to autonomous systems. That means they can do it themselves. They go beyond generating text by independently reasoning, planning, and acting to achieve complex multi-step goals. Now, these agentic AI tools are being used in big business and systems everywhere. They're just not, really completely available to the average person yet. And they're the ones that scare people the most. Okay, now their report, Adobe's report, surveyed a lot of people, 16,000 creators across the US, the UK, France, Germany, South Korea, Japan, India, and Australia. And what they were looking at was they wanted to understand mindsets, behaviors, and the expectations that are shaping this creator economy, focusing around AI. Now, what had begun, AI really began as a creative experiment. And in the AI report, they talk about AI having gone mainstream. Creative generative AI, according to Adobe, is now deeply embedded in creators' workflows, helping us to come up with ideas. I'm not completely sure about the improving quality one because quality isn't being measured. So whenever I hear somebody say, we're improving quality, I want to know what quality metrics and measures you're talking about. And they do not address that. But that's how they named it. And then also to unlock creative possibilities to help creators stand out. Here's some of the numbers they came up with. 76% of creators in their study reported that AI helped accelerate the growth of their business or follower base. 81% said it helped them create content they otherwise could not have made, or perhaps would not have made, wouldn't have had time. Not so much capacity, perhaps capacity versus capability. And then they said 85% of creators believe that AI has positively impacted the creator economy. And then another 86% of creators actively use creative generative AI. That's kind of a big deal, and that is being integrated across their business, not just for single tasks. Now that's pretty interesting. What does that mean for us? And why know these numbers? Why do we care about them? Well, if we're a course creator in the digital economy, creator economy, experts economy, And our job is to create courses to help others learn something new or how to do something. Then we might get left behind if we're not able to compete by using AI. And it may also make the world of solopreneurs, those of us that are individual course creators, we're not working for a learning and development company, we don't have a virtual staff, a virtual assistants, we don't have access to university systems and platforms. We're individuals. This can really help us manage a lot of tasks because this part of it being integrated is really important. It may help us manage budgeting. It may help us manage and track legal requirements, etc. So integrating AI is very important to being a solopreneur. And that's something that I think about when I look at this data and how it can help us and why numbers matter. Okay, so let's look, and you probably have some other ideas of why this is important. But then let's look at their 2022 report, Adobe's Future of Creativity Study. 165 million plus creators joined creator economies since 2020. And here's what they found in that study. That during the 2020 to 2023 pandemic, this is kind of staggering when you think about it, that over 165 million people entered the creator economy. That's pretty amazing when you think about that onslaught and the impact of that and how a lot of people might have scrambled and provided quick fixes, like creating courses in a weekend, and how that interface with AI has perhaps eroded trust because not everybody can teach. We know that. It's not true that anybody can create a course, and you certainly can't create a quality course in a weekend, and it should not be created by AI. As Kenny and Jay Cron at Kajabi, they're the co-CEOs of Kajabi, in their manifesto it was also in October 2025, they called this onslaught of a whole bunch of information dumping and this course in a weekend and AI just cranking out stuff. They referred to it as slop, and I'd have to heartily agree. Just because you can dump a bunch of information does not mean that anybody can learn it. Okay, and here's the next bit of Deso. That's my little aside on why 165 million people entering this business space is such a big deal. And here's the second bit of data. This is pretty interesting. 1 in 4 people are contributing to online spaces. And that could be participating in social media, etc. But that affects the future of our work, social causes, and a big part that we're not maybe talking about as much as we should is our mental health. And then 17% of creators are business owners, while 39% aspire to become a business owner one day. Now, this was 2022 data. In the last 4 years, I imagine those numbers have gone up. But let's try to get real numbers on specific disciplines like course creators within the creator economy. And factual data just simply cannot be found. There's lots and lots of measures on profits, average earnings, and estimated numbers, like it's estimated there are 330 million creators worldwide. And there's certainly summarized effects on the business space because of COVID, but quality measures and measures of who does what, where, simply don't exist. Even reputable platforms like Kajabi mix and match how they count their creators. With Kajabi's 100,000 plus subscribers, they don't track subscribers by the products their subscribers create. They're just all experts or creators. So why does that matter to you as a course creator or an aspiring course creator? Well, because what isn't specified isn't measured. We can't call out critical indicators that measure quality. If we're aggregating, smushing together different business models. Now, I'm curious, what do you think about this? What data do you track? What data sources do you seek out? Maybe I've missed something somewhere. I'd love to know. But if we claim professionalism, if those of you that follow this podcast and are interested in quality like I am, then data is a very big deal. From where I sit, we're not there yet. Now, I have some more information on the numbers in the creator economy. There's a guide to this episode 7. There's an A and B guide, the Real Numbers Strategic Monday. And the link is in the podcast room at thecoursecreationlab.com. I'd love to know what data sources you're tracking. How are you seeing this profession panning out? Do you think it's a profession? And I'd like you to join me each Monday for Strategic Monday, and again on Thursday, the Master's Way, where we look at some actual strategies for how we can create quality courses, how we can start defining professionalism, and look at the actual competencies of being an expert who is also an expert course creator. Until next time, we're going to continue to look at some of the drivers here in Strategic Monday and again on Thursday of the Course Creator's Edge. Blessings to you on your journey as a course creator or aspiring course creator. The world needs quality, and I hope that's what we can all create.